Hello, welcome to Bay. My name is Nitish Pathak and I am your host tonight. Here we connect voices, stories, inspiration all the way from San Francisco to Monterey. At Bay, we celebrate Toastmasters, their journey, who are dedicated to constant learning, growing and elevating each other. Today we have two speakers, each with a unique message and a story. We'll also get to meet their evaluators, who are going to share their feedback and perspective. And we'll also feature one of our charismatic club from the district, North Valley Toastmasters, who have been running for over 60 years. With that, let's start. Our first speaker is Shobha Rao. Shobha Rao's life has been about empowerment and advocacy. She is an author, TEDx speaker, and a Toastmaster for 14 years. She believes in inspiring others and uplifting them to find their voice and confidence. Her speech today is titled The Power of Asking Why. Let's hear it from our first speaker, Shobha Rao.
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster. Why? That's a question we ask everyone often as a child. But when we start growing up, we forget to ask that question enough. Have you ever thought about that? When you start asking why, it makes you curious, but at the same time, in the settings of healthcare, it makes you powerful. Self-advocacy for oneself is as critical as your life itself. You have the maximum stake in that business. If you are not thinking about yourself, who will? Let me give you an example. We often think that being a good patient is listening to your doctor, being in the system, following instructions. That's what I was thinking. Until a few years back, I realized it's not about just being a good patient. It is more to do with being an informed patient by asking why. Couple of years back, I had a chest CT scan which talks about your calcium scoring. If you're wondering what it is, it measures the calcification in your heart arteries, which indirectly points to how many years it takes before you get a heart attack or a heart disease. Ideally, you want the calcium score to be 0. Mine was somewhere here. I'm scared to tell the number. I said, why? Because my cholesterol numbers were excellent. My good cholesterol, way high. Bad cholesterol, way low. And I was maintaining that for the past 20 years. And I never thought I would be the person having such a huge calcium score. Like I usually do, the question why, I started looking through journals. I am ready to write a PhD thesis on any type of cardiac activity you wanted to know. And that's what I did. I went and spoke to my doctor and he said, we don't know. Sometimes, unfortunately, you may not have the answer at all for what you're looking for, but you are still being informed. And I was informed that my score is high and I know how to tackle it when I am facing a heart disease later on in my life. As an example of self-advocacy, here comes the next story. My cardiologist recommended me to take some statins, which are the drugs which help to lower cholesterol. My cholesterol was already low. He said, okay, In your case, you are not an average human being. You need to go way lower. I said, okay, fine. He gave me a statin drug. I go home, I research, and I find that that drug actually interacts with another medication I was taking. He didn't think about it. I went and spoke to him. I said, this is what's happening. He said, oh, okay, let's work on it. There are 6 different types of statin drugs. We found one which doesn't interact, and he said, let's take this. I took that drug, but my cholesterol did not come down because it was already way too low. There was not much room to go even lower. Then he said, I'm going to add the second drug. Let's try that one. And when he gave the drug, I took it, and my cholesterol, boom, went low. True to my spirit of self-advocacy, since I had already done a PhD on all the cardiac papers around, I looked into that drug and I found that at half the dosage, it was still successful. So I went and spoke to him. We lowered the dosage further. And today, I'm taking that drug. Now, why am I telling you this? I want you to know self-advocacy is not about distrust in the medical system. It is not about not listening to your doctors and doing your own research. It is about partnering with them so you get best of both the worlds by asking the question, why? It makes you more powerful. Sometimes I do take it a little too far, as my husband says. In our house, there are 2 doctors. My husband is the doctor who says, don't worry about it, it's nothing. I am the doctor who says, oh, let me research it for 6 days, and then maybe I can come to the conclusion. We balance each other. We complement each other very well. He keeps me calm and grounded from my panic attacks when I do my advocacy, and I keep him alive. Yes, be curious. Self-advocacy is like a muscle that keeps weakening if you don't use it. So keep using it. I hope next time when someone says don't worry about it, you say thank you with a smile, but I still want to understand why. Because often self-advocacy involves asking questions, and that question starts with a why. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Shobha. That was such an inspiring speech. I learned that you have been part of Toastmasters for over 14 years. So my question is, why?
Oh, sure.
What does Toastmasters
Good question.
mean to you personally?
Yes. Personally, for me, as I just spoke about some medical hurdles, Toastmasters I started just for improving my public speaking skills, which we are all here for. But I think over time, I almost felt it to be cathartic. Because as someone who has gone through a lot of medical hurdles in life, speaking about it, expressing myself positively has helped me reach out to more, not just me, and I'm hoping that it helps a lot more people out there in spreading my message and getting it out.
Thank you, Shobha. I'm sure that's going to inspire a lot of Toastmasters.
Thank you.
Thank you. Now, to give feedback to Shobha, let's welcome Ana Garcia.
Thank you, Nitish. My first feedback to Shobha is that she has inspired me with her speech today and the simple word of why. We have a theme in the district, speak boldly and lead fearlessly, and I think she brought that in this speech to us because that is exactly what you need to do. The power of asking why was peppered all throughout with the different lessons and the examples that she gave us. And she had great transitions throughout. She took us very simply in her words from curiosity to being powerful. She took us in another example, from being good to being informed. I liked the simplicity of those transitions because immediately you can make the connection without her having to pile in a bunch of words. And then she gave us another example in very simple, like almost in a sentence, that she started to do research and then takes us that she can do a thesis on anything heart related. It was so simply done that you convey those messages to us in such a way that makes us understand without having to fill up a whole speech with it. You took us with great gestures from high to low. You used that a couple of times. I thought that was very well done. The only thing that would have made it a little tiny bit more interesting for me is you stay in your own dialogue the entire time. It would be good for you to use the voice of your husband, use the voice of the doctor, and that way we get the little vocal transitions in the story, and we also can get maybe the different characters that are part of your speech. But other than that, a great speaker always ends with a good call to action, and that is for all of us to lean into our own advocacy, and really by asking what we learned to do when we were 1 year old. Why? And just let that continue to permeate. And that's the message I got from your speech today. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna, for that insightful feedback. This is the favorite part of a Toastmasters meeting, how we can speak, get instant feedback, and grow. Now it's time to feature a charismatic club from our district, North Valley Toastmaster. This club is a morning club. They meet at 7 a.m. on Fridays. Probably that's why they are charismatic. And they truly embody the Toastmaster spirit. They have been in the district for over 60 years. So let's take a look at North Valley Toastmasters.
All right, we have a great meeting planned today, and to start the meeting, we have our esteemed President, Serena.
Thank you, Fletcher. I joined because I wanted to work on my impromptu speaking skills for interviews, but stayed because it's so fun and I get so energized from our meetings every Friday morning. 7 years later, I have trouble leaving. Yeah.
Well, I started because I realized how much I had to gain by building those skills. It was one of the few places I could go to get feedback. And so the benefit of Toastmasters was that people would actually tell me things that other people wouldn't ever tell me.
In the pandemic, we had a lot of members move far away, like to India, Nashville, Tennessee, and Taiwan even. So we're truly an intercontinental club. It's important to be able to connect with your peers and colleagues in person, but it's as important to be able to lead successful meetings online.
There are two computers. One is the one that's facing the lectern, a Zoom image so that the speaker can talk to the audience and they've got something to look at, but on top of that they can see the timer.
Green indicate you have used the minimum amount of time, and yellow is target time, and red means that time is up, you need to wrap up.
We have a 360-degree camera. People at Denny's can easily see everyone on Zoom. Any of our members, they can come. They don't need to bring their laptop or other equipment. It's very important and applicable to how a lot of people work today. You know, it's important to be able to connect with your peers and colleagues in person, but it's equally as important to be able to lead successful meetings online. We've been a breakfast club because it helps seem a little bit more casual and it helps me become a little bit less nervous.
I think a North Valley Toastmaster is just like a family-friendly style. I always looking forward to the Friday's meeting.
The interaction with the other members is just such a wonderful experience. We have fun.
Just get up earlier on Friday and then you join us to have fun.
Welcome back to Bay to Bay. Our second speaker today, Fulvio Parodi, is a proud member of Saratoga Toastmasters. After spending years in high tech, he followed his calling and founded a company called Organica Eco Soaps. He is an advocate for sustainability and he is particular about having a purpose in life. Today, he is going to challenge us to rethink how small actions, how our daily habits can be transformative. His speech is titled A Spoon Worth of Purpose. Let's hear it from Fulvio Parodi.
In the 50s, when plastic was originally introduced, no one thought that it was going to be so revolutionary, invading our lives. 70 years later, plastic is everywhere. It's really hard to find a product that does not contain plastic, was made with plastic, or has plastic all around it. And it's made our lives easier because in so many ways it helps us get things done. The problem is that we have produced over 8 billion tons of it over the 70 years. And most of it is lingering in the environment around us, in the form of microplastics and even smaller pieces that are called nanoplastics. Nanoplastics are so small that are measured in billionths of a meter. That's the realm of molecules in bacteria. They're way smaller than the cells of our bodies. And they enter our bodies through the food that we eat, and the air that we breathe, and the water we drink. We all know this. Nanoplastics are particularly concerning because they are also able to get through our internal natural barriers that protect our organs. Recently, a study from Duke University, scientists from Duke University and the University of Mexico, concluded that the amount of plastics in our brain is increasing at an alarming rate, so alarming. From the year 2016 to 2024, and that's a period of 8 years, it grew 50%. And that's alarming. The amount of plastic that we have on average in our brain is equivalent to, is about 7 grams. It's the equivalent of about a spoon of plastic. A spoon worth of plastic. Did you try to put in there? It's really hard to imagine that we have this amount of plastic in our brain. But we do. And increasing at a rate of 50% every 8 years, that's even more concerning. The question is, what is it that we can do about it? You will ask yourself, well, normal humans, we need the plastic. What can we do about it? And I'm here to tell you that there are small steps that we all can take that will help alleviate this problem. So humor me for a minute here. And I'm going to ask you, think about what you have in your bathroom. Everyone has shampoo and conditioner and deodorant and probably lip balm and shaving cream. And that's plastic, plastic, plastic. Every single one contained in plastic, ready to be discarded the minute you're done with the product. Now the question is, what if there were sustainable options? What if there were options that were natural, that didn't have plastic in them, that were made of cardboard, biodegradable, discardable, who knows what, and they were also good for you, good for the environment, good for your health, about the same price? Would you take that option? And that's exactly what inspired me to start my company. A couple of years ago, I founded Organica Eco Soaps. And this has become my life project, to create products that are biodegradable, sustainable, that protect the environment, that are great for your health, but also good for the environment. Products that you don't feel guilty about discarding because they're going to be compostable. That when you go down the drain, it's not going to hurt nature because it's natural and it's good for you. They smell good, they make you feel good. That's what we've been doing. We've been creating deodorants, shampoo and conditioners, lip balms, shaving bars that they're great for you, keep you healthy, and protect the environment. So it leads us to the next level, which is, what are we going to do? Are we going to continue to take options that are not good for us? Or are we going to choose the right thing? My message here is, I always actually want to change this and turn this spoon worth of plastic into a spoon filled with purpose. The purpose of changing the world, the purpose of change, the purpose of having a healthy environment and a healthy life.
Thank you, Fulvio, for that inspiring and thought-provoking talk. I'm curious, and I can't agree more that this message needs to go out there. I'm curious how Toastmasters has helped you share your message effectively.
Absolutely. Toastmasters has been a life changer for me. I joined Toastmasters just a few months ago, and since day one, I realized that, the reason why I joined was because I needed to find a way to transmit this message out to the public, to the people, to the masses, and not just keeping it to myself. And but I didn't know how to do it. I didn't know how to speak in public, and I still am learning. But this opportunity, Toastmasters has given me the opportunity to practice my speech, to learn how to communicate, and to make my speeches be, I would say, more impactful, more direct. In that regard, I have given speeches of multiple kind, but always keeping in mind that we need to live with the environment, and we need to protect our environment in order to have a better tomorrow.
Thank you. Thank you, Fulvio. Now, to help Fulvio to take this speech to the next level, we have our second evaluator, Santosh Kumar, who describes himself as an Indian living an American dream. And he is passionate about 3 Ps: ping pong, programming, and of course, public speaking. Help me welcome Santosh Kumar.
Tonight is our night. What we witnessed, a truly magical, mystical, radical, transformative speech. A spoon worth full of purpose was incredible, thought-provoking, and universally appealing. I would like to honor our incredible speaker with a Triple H award. Here are the reasons. You spoke to my heart, H. Now, you might be wondering, I'm carrying this spoon. This spoon is made of not plastic, it's made out of wood. When I saw him, I saw the tears in his eyes. Every cell in my body was vibrating. There was a truth in your speech, and how much he cares, how our body, our environment, the global warming, how it is impacting all of us. Just a little spoon of thought can make a difference. Amazing. And second H, you spoke to my head, not the spoon sticking to my head, with logic. You said 8 billion materials have been used. The Duke universities have done a research. You didn't come up here and show us. You showed the statistical facts, which gave me the confidence to believe you, what you are saying. You spoke to my head, logic. And thirdly, third H, something you gave to my hand, a take-home message, a message that I can carry the rest of my lives. It was such a thought-provoking. When I leave this room, I would make sure I would use the wooden spoon. Now, let's elevate your speech, H, higher level. You are so passionate and authentic throughout your speech, but there were moments, give us some pause. When there was tears were flowing, I want to feel with you, I want to be with you. Just give us some pause so I can digest, especially when you said about how it hit you hard, how inspired you to start the company. Give us a pause. Overall, you hit us with 3H, you spoke to my head, heart, a take-home message, a truly a transformative speech. Today, I'm going to take a dose. I'm totally drunk on divine, not wine. Thank you.
Thank you, Santosh. That brings us to the close of Bay to Bay. What a fantastic meeting it was. We heard inspiring stories of courage, curiosity, and purpose from our wonderful speakers, Shobha and Fulvio. Great insights from our evaluators, Anna and Santosh. And I want to thank the entire team for supporting us in our mission of elevating and supporting the speakers to make them better communicators and leaders tomorrow. With that, we are signing off. I am Nitish Pathak, and we are Bay to Bay, where we connect voices, stories, inspiration from San Francisco to Monterey. Thank you. Great job. Thank you.